What will Kamala Harris' policy on Ukraine look like if she becomes president? Will she have a winning strategy, as she claims? And perhaps the most crucial question, will she allow Ukraine to strike Russian positions inside Russia itself? These are the questions that will define not just the future of Ukraine, but the stability of the world. Hello, welcome to Channel Yarochenko. Last night at the Democratic National Convention, we witnessed a moment that many of us have been waiting for, a convention that didn't just focus on domestic issues, but boldly addressed America's role on the global stage. A central theme was the unwavering support for Ukraine, and the speeches delivered struck a deep chord. Today, we're going to dive into those speeches, starting with one that carried significant weight, the address by Adam Kinzinger.
His vision of a strong America, the shining city on a hill. I was a Republican for 12 years in Congress, and I still hold on to the label. I never thought I'd be here, but listen, you never thought you'd see me here, did you? I've learned something about the Democratic Party. And I want to let my fellow Republicans in on the secret. The Democrats are as patriotic as us.
Adam Kinzinger, a former Republican congressman and military veteran, made headlines last night with his powerful speech at the DNC. For those who may not know, Kinzinger was one of the few Republicans who took a stand against former President Trump, becoming a vocal critic of his party's decision, especially after January 6th insurrection. His decision to speak at the Democratic National Convention was more than just a political statement. It was a significant moment that underscored the urgency of the issues at hand.
And it retreats. It equivocates. It nominates a man who is weirdly obsessed with Putin. And his running mate who said, quote, "I don't care what happens in Ukraine." Yeah, and he wants to be vice president. Yeah. How can a party claim to be conservative when it tarnishes the gifts that our forebears fought for?
Kinzinger didn't hold back, calling out Trump's bizarre obsession with Vladimir Putin, a relationship that has raised serious concerns for those who value America's alliances and democratic principles. Kinzinger's words on Ukraine's fight for freedom were especially impactful. He made it clear that Ukraine's struggle is not just their own, but is tied to the core values America stands for: freedom, democracy, and the rule of law. His speech was a beacon of clarity and courage at a time when strong leadership is crucial.
How can a party claim to stand for liberty if it sees a fight for freedom in Ukraine, an attack pitting tyranny against democracy, a challenge to everything our nation claims to be? If you think those principles are worth defending, then I urge you, make the right choice. Vote for Kamala Harris. God bless you.
Senator Mark Kelly also took the stage to reinforce the message of unwavering support for Ukraine. He emphasized the importance of standing with our allies and continuing to support Ukraine in its fight against Russian aggression. Kelly, a former astronaut and veteran, spoke with authority of someone who understands the importance of defending freedom wherever it is threatened.
Vladimir Putin is testing whether we're still that strong. What's Trump's answer? He invited Russia to do, and these are his words, not mine, whatever the hell they want. Vice President Harris has always championed America's support for NATO, for Ukraine, and for the Ukrainian people.
Kelly's remarks highlighted the bipartisan nature of this issue. Support for Ukraine is not just a Democratic priority, but an American one. His words served as a reminder that our commitment to global democracy is crucial in these uncertain times.
Donald Trump skipped his intelligence briefings. He was too busy sucking up to dictators and dreaming of becoming one himself.
And then there was Vice President Kamala Harris. Moments after accepting the Democratic nomination for president, Harris made it clear that foreign policy, particularly support for Ukraine, will be a priority under her leadership.
Encouraged Putin to invade our allies, said Russia could, quote, do whatever the hell they want. 5 days before Russia attacked Ukraine, I met with President Zelensky to warn him about Russia's plan to invade. I helped mobilize a global response over 50 countries to defend against Putin's aggression. And as president, I will stand strong with Ukraine and our NATO allies.
Harris recalled her meeting with President Zelensky just days before Russia's invasion, highlighting the global response she helped mobilize to defend against Putin's aggression. Her commitment to standing strong with Ukraine and our NATO allies was met with thunderous applause, signaling that this issue remains at the forefront of American foreign policy. But as we look ahead, the big question remains: will Harris' strategy for Ukraine be strong, decisive leadership that the world needs against the axis of evil?
And America, we must also be steadfast in advancing our security and values abroad. As Vice President, I have confronted threats to our security, negotiated with foreign leaders, strengthened our alliances, and engaged with our brave troops overseas. As Commander-in-Chief, I will ensure America always has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world. And I will fulfill our sacred obligation to care for our troops and their families, and I will always honor and never disparage their service and their sacrifice.
Last night's DNC convention was a powerful reminder of the stakes involved in global leadership. From Adam Kinzinger's courageous stand, a Republican stepping onto the DNC stage, to Mark Kelly's firm support and Kamala Harris's pledge of commitment. It's clear that the fight for Ukraine's freedom is deeply intertwined with America's values. But what will Harris's policy truly look like? Will she allow Ukraine to take the fight directly to Russian positions? These are the questions that will shape not just Ukraine's future, but the future of global stability. What do you guys think? Will Harris deliver the strong, decisive leadership that Ukraine and the world needs? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to channel Yarochenko. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep the conversation going. Slava Ukraini, and God bless America.